While Carly Russell, aka Carly Russell, was faking abductions and running through the woods from herself, you had other reports of missing women out there, like the mother of 4 right here in Georgia. She was reported missing on July 16th, just days after Carly. And her family in Georgia, they were all hoping that their daughter would come back home too. 30-year-old Imani Roberson left her mother's house on July 16th in Conyers, Georgia. Initially, it was reported that she went to go pick up a couple of things at her home nearby, but she never returned. Now 4 children, including an infant, is without their mother that's been missing for 3 weeks. 11 days after Imani vanished, there was a charred discovery made over 30 miles away in South Atlanta, but still no signs of Imani.
Imani has a caramel complexion. She's about 5 feet 2 inches tall with dark brown eyes and a small build. Her hair is currently styled in thick, knotless braids with a reddish color, and she normally wears them pinned up to the back. She wears glasses and occasionally contact lenses. She has a tattoo sleeve on her left arm. Over the course of the last 20 years, I have lost 3 children. Please help me bring Imani home. Anyone who thinks they may have seen her or the car, please, there is no detail too small.
Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. On July 16th, Imani drove over to her mother's house with her 4 kids for dinner. The 2 subdivisions are like 2 blocks from each other, so it was normal for her to go to her mother's house almost every day. When dinner was over, Imani started walking to her car with her 4 kids, 11 years old, 9 years old, 3 years old, and 1 month old. The 2 older children, the 11 and 9-year-old, they ended up changing plans and stayed back at their grandmother's house instead. So Imani got in the car alone with her 3-year-old toddler and 1-month-old infant. The next day, July 17th, Imani's mother tried to call her but didn't get an answer. Her mom continued to call her several times and still each time, no answer. So her mother jumped in the car and drove over to Imani's house. When she got there, no one was there, Imani wasn't there, the 2 children weren't there either. So her mother went down to the sheriff's office and filed a missing persons report on Imani. She said she talked to her daughter every day and it was out of character for Imani not to call her and at least check on her 2 kids that she left at her mother's house the day before. Over 10 days later, Imani's car was found burned off Camp Creek Parkway near Union Road in South Fulton, Georgia. But still, no trace of Imani.
Now to a developing story we're tracking right now, folks. Just hours ago, a disturbing discovery as authorities search for a missing mother of 4 out of Conyers. Imani Roberson vanished just 12 days ago, and last night, her torched SUV was found 30 miles away in Atlanta, and tonight only an 11 alive. The father is sitting down with our very own Cody Alcorn. Now, Cody, this does not sound good at all.
No, Ron, not at all. In fact, Ronald Ackland believes his daughter has been killed.
This is the radiator.
That's off the emblem.
And that's off of the emblem also. And that's the front of the emblem right there.
The emblem from Imani Roberson's Mazda SUV, missing until 24 hours ago.
This is how we know something terrible has happened.
The white SUV found torched in this secluded area off Camp Creek Parkway in southwest Atlanta.
She did not deserve this.
Ronald Ackland.
I am Imani's father.
A grandfather to Imani's 4 children, Caden Carter Royal and her newborn Lennox. Her babies now wondering what's happened to mom.
Right, and they're asking.
Ackland believes the answer was captured on Imani's neighbor's Ring doorbell.
That's before I listen.
I heard the pow there.
The video is grainy, but listen.
That was a gunshot from a distance.
Listen again. 11 alive can't confirm this was a gunshot. Following the loud noise, Ackland says Imani's SUV is seen in the grainy video backing out of the garage and speeds off. The last time it's seen until the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office says it showed up 30 miles away here off Metropolitan Parkway at City Central Apartments. But Ackland doesn't believe she was in it.
Her car was there. Now, who's saying that?
Now, Ackland says the father of Imani's newborn lives at those apartments. As of right now, this remains a missing persons case. Anyone with information is being asked to call the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office.
All right, Cody, thanks a lot.
Then you started to see more local news coverage along with a social media post written by her cousin who wrote that Imani was missing and her family needed the public's help locating her. They also launched a GoFundMe campaign. That post was shared by many groups and influencers on Instagram and Facebook.
Right now, the search is still on for a missing Rockdale County woman who vanished. She was last seen earlier this month. Police discovered Imani Roberson's torched vehicle in Atlanta days later. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes joins us live from the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office with the latest on the search for this missing mother.
And we spoke with Imani Roberson's father this afternoon. He fears the worst, tells me he suspects foul play and believes that his daughter is dead. He says he will not rest until he finds out what happened to her.
I believe they have shot and killed Imani.
It's been 2 weeks since Imani Roberson's disappearance. The mother of 4 went missing after leaving her mother's residence in Conyers on July 16th. Her father shared these images of the charred remains believed to be that of the woman's Mazda SUV, which were discovered July 27th in a wooded area off Camp Creek Parkway near Union Road in Atlanta.
We know that that's Imani's vehicle. We know it is because of the area where it was at.
Atlanta police reported the woman's car was last spotted the evening of July 16th on the 200 block of Metropolitan Parkway in southwest Atlanta. Robertson's family says the woman's newborn and 3-year-old son were located with their father at another residence. They say he told police Robertson had dropped the children off. The family also shared ring camera video from a home across the street from Imani's residence. You can hear what sounds like a shot ring out and then see what appears to be her vehicle pull out of the driveway at a high rate of speed.
Pow! Then her car backs out of the garage. It's not seen anymore until at night down on Metropolitan, 200 block, Metropolitan, then these areas, Delow, Campbellton Road, Barge. It's no coincidence.
Ackland is urging anyone with information about her disappearance to come forward.
And think back to July the 16th, the whole July the 16th. And think back, have you seen this vehicle? Have you seen this person? Have you seen anybody that may or could have been involved in this?
Now, the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office is heading the investigation. Detectives not commenting on the case at this time. But Robertson's mother did tell me this afternoon that the family plans to hold a news conference here sometime tomorrow. That's the latest here in Conyers. Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
Hopefully they get some answers soon. Deidre, thank you.
So a few things here. For at least the first 2 weeks, there was no mention of a husband. But Imani's father said that she had a husband, and at the press conference yesterday, the sheriff also acknowledged that Imani had a husband.
She is married.
Imani's father also mentioned in earlier reports that Imani was in the process of moving out of that house that the sheriff said that she shared with her kids and her husband, and she was moving in with her mother. So I'm guessing the original story provided by her mother that Imani went home to pick up a few things and she was coming back, it makes sense. But her mother also said that she didn't look for Imani until the next day after she didn't answer the phone when she called her. Now, if Imani left her mother's house just to go pick some things up and go back, I'm thinking with them being so close, her mama should have called her that same night when she never showed up back to the house. Apparently, the husband is the father of the 3-year-old son and the 1-month-old. The husband claims Imani dropped the children off to him. That's how he got them, which is crazy because the sheriff didn't want to acknowledge any of that at all and did not want to disclose any whereabouts involving those 2 kids.
Sheriff, quick question for you. You mentioned the 2 children were at dinner with her that night and she left with the children. What happened to those children?
So the 4 children was walking to get in the car with Imani, and I think 2 decided to stay with the grandmother. So 2 decided to stay with the grandmother, the other 2 went home with Imani, which were the 3-year-old and the 1-month-old. And as to the whereabouts of the children, I will leave that up to the family to clarify that.
And this is how I know that he knows something else is going on. The father can't be the only one here with sense. And the questions that the reporters are asking are great questions. Originally, it was reported that all 4 kids were left with her mother. But within the last few days, we found out that 2 of them went with her. So people asking about those 2 kids, where did they go? Who picked them up? How did they get there? Those are pretty normal questions that the sheriff should be able to answer.
Did she drop off the kids at her house with her husband and then leave? I mean, this is kind of unclear here.
Well, as I stated, Imani left with her 2 children, right. 2 of the children, and 2 of the children stay home. Now, in terms of where she went from there, I won't confirm that.
The children are okay? Are the children safe?
Are the children okay? Yes.
Can you confirm whether or not Imani actually was still with her husband, or if they're estranged, living apart? There was some, no clarity as far as that. We were told that the children were later found with her estranged husband.
To my knowledge and my understanding, that she was still with her husband. And if I'm understanding your question, you mean it's still married to him? They weren't separated, or yes? To my understanding, that she was still married to him and still with him.
Have you found her cell phone? Have you found her personal belongings?
I won't answer that. I'm sorry.
And to clarify, only her mother reported her missing. Her husband did not.
Her mother reported her missing.
And there we go. Her mother reported her missing. Her husband did not report her missing. Not only that, but her mother only reported her missing. She did not report the 2 children missing. Well, all of that brings us to who? The husband that no one mentioned until a couple of days ago. And she's been missing for like 3 weeks now. They obviously know something is going on here. They had the Ring camera. The Ring camera had to also show whoever that was who was in the house when she got there. Was it the husband? According to the father, the husband was living in South Atlanta, where they found the car burned up.
But just remember that we know a lot of information, but I'm just unable to share some additional information for now.
And my thing is, why have a press conference if you can't answer any questions? Why not just release a statement, finish your preliminary investigation, but you should at least be able to tell people that this was a targeted attack. You guys have some sort of idea who's responsible for this. You're investigating that individual or individuals, and just let the public know that random mothers aren't getting picked up and having their cars burned up.
But I like all the parents out there to think about what it would be like to be without your child since the 16th of July, not to know where they are, not to talk to them. We'd like to call on that feeling and emotion and ask the entire community for its support.
That's an attorney out of DC, a friend of the family. He spoke at the press conference calling on emotions to help them solve the case. The sheriff spoke, the mother spoke, this attorney spoke, but the father wasn't allowed to speak. The issue with the father is they can't count on him to get up there and answer those questions the way they want him to answer the questions. He's given the most important information so far. As for the attorney that showed up, I don't think emotions will solve the case. Logical thinking is definitely needed. Like, who was the last person to see her alive? Sounds like it wasn't her mother. According to the father, the husband said he saw her last when she dropped the kids off to him. Her mother already made a statement, so the next person to check out is the husband. Sending prayers to Imani's family, her children, her parents, and I hope they get down to the bottom of this soon. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Why do you think they waited so long to mention a husband and that 2 of the kids went with her that night and ended up with him? Special thank you to Rob P. I appreciate you, Rob, for your support, as well as Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. And shout out to Dexter from Orlando by way of Deltona. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.